Yo, man, welcome to Knowing True Ball with your host, Brian Payne. Hey, man, them boys did it. Them Kansas City Chief boys took home that Super Bowl 58. The first back-to-back champion in the last 19 years. The last team to do it was the New England Patriots, and now them boys have done it again. But, hey, man, before we get into that, I want to get into something real serious and real deep. Those of you that follow my social media pages, specifically Facebook right now, you guys saw that I went to the parade. And in Kansas City, those of you that know, I'm based in Ohio. And, man, it was dope. But unfortunately, man, there was a very unfortunate event that took place with the shooting. And, yeah, man, I heard it. I heard the bullets go off and all those crazy things, and it was wild. None of this is scripted. None of this is written. I'm just talking to you guys from what I felt and what I seen. For me personally, it wasn't necessarily a dangerous situation, which it sounds wild to say because, like, obviously someone died and other people got shot, which is very unfortunate and crazy. But what you got to realize is, like, for me and my wife and I, we were standing in the spot where, like, that didn't take place. So, like, when you talk about over 1 million people being at an event, bro, that's a lot of people in hella space that you're talking about. So what happened was we were very removed from it. And when you're that far removed, when you hear those things go off, because like I said, I was close enough to hear the gunshots go off, it doesn't register that as gunshots. Because it sounds like it could just be like firecrackers or something of that nature. So like it's not immediately registering that it's gunshots. So what I saw was the front left side is where it took place. So those of you that may watch the parade and the rally, specifically the rally, online or something of that nature, the scenario took place on the left side of the stage. Our left side, not the players' left sides, our left side of the stage. And what you see now, I'm telling you because I was there, there's parking on that left side. So when everything's done, we're all done, we did our chants and all that kind of stuff, everybody started to disperse. Everybody started to go back to their vehicles, gathering their things of that nature. And those people down there were just straight up standing the entire time. So they start leaving to go to the left, to go to their vehicles. I'm gathering my wife and I's things. And the next thing you hear is pop, 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 pop. And my wife and I counted it off. It's about 15 of them. And you see people run back to the stage, pretty much. And, it wasn't like a panic run. It was just people, like, running back. And I'm sitting there like, from that distance, it just sounds like firecrackers. That's all. And like 2 minutes later, all those people that just ran back started walking back to the left to their vehicles where the gunshots apparently had gone off. So for me, I'm thinking like it must have been firecrackers, somebody just playing games, something along the lines of my thought process is the equivalent of someone calling in a fake bomb threat to a school. I'm thinking something like that. It's like somebody's playing some silly games that's not even funny. After I gather my wife and I's things, we're just chit-chatting and mingling, things of that nature. And then the next thing that you know, you just see people hauling ass back. Like full sprint run back to the stage. Now, my alerts go off. And for me, like I said, I didn't have to run. We didn't have to do anything. For me, I just looked at my wife and said, hey, babe, we got to get moving. Let's go ahead and start walking this way because we got to go this way anyway. So let's go ahead and start going this way. But like when I tell you how chill it was for my wife and I and for all of us that was on that side. So like out of these million people, probably 800 to maybe even 900,000 of us are in safe distance. So like for us, we're just walking. My wife stops to use the bathroom. Like we're just still kind of chit chat and mingling as we're walking. Like it's not like a fast walk. It's not a panic to leave. And as we're walking, we found out that someone got shot. But like we were just finding out like, oh, it's just one or two people that got shot. And then we get halfway to our hotel, and then we find out that it's 10 to 15 people that got shot, because the other scary thing was that you have no cell phone service there. And the reason why you have no cell phone service is common. Like, if you really think about it, it's common sense. There were so many cell phones in one area that the cell phone towers couldn't handle it. So, therefore, nobody had connections, nobody had service, nobody had anything, so you couldn't get a hold of nobody. So as we got about a mile out from the venue, that's when we started regaining cell phone service, and that's when I got alerts on my phone saying 10 to 15 people shot, and now it's just like, damn. We get to the hotel, we find out that it's 22 people that got shot, 9 kids, and unfortunately one mother that was killed immediately. It was a tragic situation for sure. Kind of find out it's not a terrorist attack. It's just people just treating life like it's a game. People treating life like this is Grand Theft Auto or Fortnite or something. Like, bro, this is real life. You just don't pull triggers on people just because you're upset. And that's kind of what happened. It was just two men that was getting into it, and then somehow the teenagers got wrapped in, and they all just started firing off. It was 2 different sets of gunshots of people firing off, and yeah, as of right now, the 2 adults are being charged. Obviously, the 2 teenagers that were involved, they are being held, but they haven't released yet if they're going to trial them as adults or not. They have already said that the murder of the mother is going on the 2 men. So those kids do not have the murder of the mother on their charge. So they may not get trialed as adults. I personally, it's a tough thing for me. I want to say that they should get trialed as adults for only maybe 3 years, but that's just saying that since they're not getting charged with the murder of the mother, that's saying that the judicial system and the prison system is actually built for reform, is actually built to rehabilitate people. My issue is that our system is not actually built to rehabilitate people. It's actually built to bring people back in. And that's where I feel like they shouldn't be tried as adults, but doing something so major, something so life-threatening, something so dangerous, and you are old enough to make that conscious decision. If you're old enough to make the conscious decision to bring the gun to this event in the first place, you're old enough to suffer consequences. It's a tough pill, man. It's a tough pill. I don't really know where I stand, honestly. But for the family of the mother that passed away, I'm so deeply apologetic for you. And I feel that in my soul. As a father with a wife and 2 kids, to now think that man has to raise his kids by himself without his wife anymore, bro, that's unimaginable, man. That's unimaginable. So, man, to that family, my deepest condolences, and I'm praying for you regularly. For the kids, all the kids are said to have suffered non-life-threatening injuries, no injuries that's going to affect them long term. Obviously, they're going to have the trauma of this event for the rest of their lives. But as far as physically, they don't have anything that's going to hinder them from being kids. So, I mean, that's fantastic. And the other people that were in critical condition and life-threatening condition have all been sent home. So let's be grateful that nobody else passed away. but keep in our prayers the mother that passed away there. I want to say her last name was Lopez. Don't quote me. Like I said, I didn't want to type all this up and have it all scripted. But that's what took place. And it's sad because a lot of people think that I just love sports because of the game. And don't get me wrong, that's one of the biggest reasons why I do. But another piece of sports that I also love is that it brings so many people together. So many people come together. I mean, bro, when I went to that rally and that parade, I mean, you're talking about, bro, there was black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Muslims, and like everybody. All religions, all races, all things of that nature. And everybody's cool as hell, man. And like, is ironically, of course, like, I say that to my wife, and then less than 5 minutes later, a shooting takes place. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. But I wanted to start the show off with that because that, to me right now, that's the most important thing that's going on, and remembering those families. But now, let's go ahead and flip the script. We're done with the heavy stuff. Let's go ahead and get to the lightweight of stuff. Let's talk about some good things, some fun things, and for me at least, and that's the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Yo, man, the Super Bowl took place about a week and a half ago. As you guys now know, I'm coming to you so late because obviously I went to the parade and everything went down. I wanted to wait to make sure that, you know, I had details about what took place before I jumped on the pod. But, man, I'm so excited to talk about this game. I personally thought it was an awesome football game. A lot of people hated the first half. I didn't. I thought the first half was awesome, bro. I thought that the first half just was two strong defenses playing great defense against one another, specifically attacking the other team's weaknesses and slowing down the offenses. And I thought it was just a great display of a chess match between great defensive coordinators and great offensive coordinators. Sincerely, that's just what I thought it was. And the game went a lot how I expected it to go. Hey, your boy almost even got the score right. I guessed the score to be 26-20 Kansas City. You give the Chiefs their field goal at the end of the game. In overtime, you don't kick the PAT because the game was over. But let's say they kicked their PAT. They got 26. The final score should have been 26-22. I was hella close. And, hey, y'all, we also guessed it right to go into the Super Bowl anyway. So, hey, it was a good year for knowing true ball as far as that goes. But, man, when you look into this game, there was some critical mistakes made in the second half. But what we're going to do, we're going to go pretty much drive by drive. Well, I'm going to be explaining why I feel like took place and how the momentums was shifting and how things were turning as these games went. So starting off with the first quarter, man, the San Francisco 49ers decided to receive the ball. So, man, them getting the football first, they was going to try to establish the, the rhythm of the game, the momentum of the game, the pace of the game. They was going to, and the physicality. They were on a mission to establish that. And the way that they tried doing that, bro, they gave Christian McCaffrey the ball 5 times on that first drive. 5 times Chris C-Mac touched that rock. And that should have been their game plan going into it. The Chiefs' defense is a little light, just like we talked about before. So, like, trying to establish the run against them to go ahead and get your receivers in better positions, that would have been great for them. And that's what they did on that first drive, bro. They drove the football, got downfield. The thing that frustrated me the most with the Chiefs, honestly, a lot of this game and stopping the run against C-Mac, which eventually the Chiefs did a good job stopping the run throughout the entirety of the game. But they was only going to run the ball effectively on the left side. Focus on that left side. And that's exactly what they did. They came out, used Trent Williams, used Christian McCaffrey, and just bulldozed, and George Kittle, and bulldozed their way down to the red zone. But when they got down there, the Kansas City Chiefs made a play. Them boys made a play. Leo Chanel, he stripped the ball out of Christian McCaffrey's hands, which is a rarity. You guys do not understand how rare it is for Christian McCaffrey to fumble. That is a very rare thing to take place. But The fumble was forced and the Chiefs picked it up, man. It was a hell of a goal line stand by the Chiefs. Brock Purdy, he was in rhythm. He was comfortable. The run game was going, so they was able to work the play action. And for the Chiefs to force that fumble, it messed up that entire drive because the 49ers was on pace to score a touchdown on that first drive. But now when KC got the ball, they tried to establish the rhythm of the game, the physicality of the game. Then they ran the football in the very first play, and Pacheco got tackled for a big loss on that play, and it killed the entire drive already. The Chiefs ended up going 3-and-out with a punt. It was great defense by the San Francisco 49ers. Greenlaw was all over the place. All over the place. The Chiefs tried to do a screen, and the screen didn't work because you had Greenlaw and Fred Warner, as we've talked about several times on the pod. Well, you got two linebackers specifically middle linebackers that go sideline to sideline. Look at the teams that made it. 3 of the 4 teams that made it to the conference championship games have that setup. They have that system. The Baltimore Ravens, Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen. The Kansas City Chiefs, Willie Gay and Nick Bolton. And when Willie Gay was hurt, they subbed in Drew Tranquill, who did a fantastic job. Fantastic job. Moving on now to the 49ers, where you got Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner. Bro, these are linebackers that get sideline to sideline. So what was able to happen was you was able to put Fred Warner to predominantly focus on Travis Kelce and let Drake Greenlaw stop the run. So the first play, they killed the run, killed the run on that drive. The second play, Fred Warner took out Travis Kelce as soon as that screen pass was thrown. Then the third down, Chase Young made a big play, made a big sack. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to drive early. It was just a stop, a great third down stop by the San Francisco 49ers, which led to a punt. So right now, though, at this point in the game, I'm seeing here like the 49ers have the momentum. Even with the fumble, they have the momentum. They are the ones setting the tone in this game, the physicality in this game. They are running the football. They are stopping the run. They are punching the Chiefs in the mouth. And they had a great they had a really good first 2 series of the game outside of that fumble. So now when the 49ers got the ball back, they're feeling good. They should be going down. Just continue running the ball on that left side. Continue running outside zone specifically. They was doing a great job running the outside zone. Instead, what took place, flags. And the flags pushed the 49ers back and killed that entire possible drive. And when that took place, man, you saw the 49ers lose something for that drive. They just kind of gave up on that drive. Instead, they just focused on ball control, not trying to turn the ball over, not trying to get the Chiefs really good field position. So they do a screen pass to McCaffrey. They do a short pass to Deebo Samuel just to try to get some yards, just to make play the field position game, which is very important in a game of this magnitude. Now, moving on now to the Chiefs, and Chase Young got that sack against Donovan Smith. Burnt him. And the beauty of that, though, for the 49ers, that it was 4 guys rushing. Only 4 guys. At this point in the game, the 49ers are able to run man coverage on the Chiefs wide receivers because these 4 guys are getting home. They're getting home. And Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner are shutting the run game down. Shutting it down. Now, bro, you don't have to blitz. You don't have to do any of that. So you got extra defenders back. And that's what's causing the Chiefs to be put in negative situations on every play that they're running offensively. Every single play. And at this point in the game, the 49ers have full control of the game. And then when they got the ball back and they threw that bomb to Brandon Ayuk, that should have been 6 points, man. Brock missed that one. He missed that one. He did. Because you see, Ayuk had a choice to either go or run a post. And Brock got to that read late. And when he got to it late, he had to kind of wait to see what Ayuk was going to do. So when Ayuk looks up to try to track the ball, he couldn't find it because the ball was not there on time. So what happens is he slows up his run. And now once he sees it, he's like, oh. and he tried to get up to get there, but it was too late. It was too late. I'm not necessarily blaming Brock for that because of the fact that, stuff happens. Stuff happens. And that's one of those where I'll say just something happened. It's unfortunate you missed it. But the one that I was concerned with was the missed first down pass to Deebo Samuel. They still converted it at that time of the game, but I was concerned because also these last two drives, they was really trying to get Deebo involved, and they were kind of starting to force feed Deebo, and that's not the 49er way. That is not the 49er way. That's not how they play the game. So when they get into that, now Brock is coming tunnel vision on the guy, and the drive stalled. It stalled out because of that. They didn't run the ball effectively on that drive. The Chiefs was going with a lot of 5 men in front to slow down that drive, and it worked. It worked. And the Chiefs sticky, as we discussed before coming into this game, sticky man-to-man coverage was shutting down every look that Brock Purdy was going to. And then they get to kick the field goal. So, I mean, you did get something positive. You did go up 3-0. So that is something positive for the 49ers. And then when you get to give the ball back to the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes put out some Patrick Mahomes magic. He saw Nick Bosa coming off that right side. The boy rolled to the left, set them feet, and let that thing fly over there to Mecole Hardman for a 52-yard completion. That was a straight-up dot. Straight-up dot. Granted, the safety did turn his back. He did turn his back. Because surely, okay, I see him throwing that ball. Surely he's throwing it out of bounds. There ain't nobody behind me, and somebody was. So that is on the safety for not playing through the whistle. He did not play through the whistle there. That's why it's very important to do that. But, man, that was a great pass and a great catch by Mecole Hardman. That should have led to a touchdown. But, unfortunately, it led to a fumble as well by Isaiah Pacheco. So, at this point in the game, the fumbles kind of negate each other out. Those 2 turnovers kind of don't matter now because they just negated each other. Those are 2 touchdown drives that should have been touchdowns that got completely negated. And for the 49ers, man, this is where I felt like the first shift of the game took place. You get the ball after forcing that fumble, and you don't get no points. No points after that. That's not a good sign. But then more importantly, bro, after you kick the punt, Dre Greenlaw tears his ACL just trying to run on the field. Man, bro, that broke my heart. It broke my heart. It really, really did. I hate seeing really good players go down. And the way that he went down, man, that sucked. That was a tough break. That was a tough break. But the 49ers rallied. They rallied by continuing to play great defense, man. They was doing a lot of zone coverage. And then, like in money situations, they was doing a man shell with a shell over top. Meaning that, like, once you got past a certain point, it was going to turn into a zone. But, like, it starts off in a man. So, number 48, the backup linebacker, I cannot think of his name right now. He was doing a great job, like, chasing Travis Kelce. And then, like, as he chased him, it got passed off. So, now it's not looking like a man-to-man coverage no more. And now Patrick Mahomes is thrown off. And they did a great job disguising their plays and doing what they needed to do. And they kept attacking, rushing the 4 guys. Those guys were dominating that first half. Dominating that first half. The 4 guys being Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Hargrave, and Ken Law, or the other guy that they're rotating in. So, I mean, the 49ers had complete control of this game. At this point in the game, honestly, bro, the 49ers should have been up at least 17-0. At the very least 17-0. They should have been up. Actually, I'll take that back. 17-7. That's what I will say. It should have been 17-7 because if I'm giving them the touchdown of Christian McCaffrey fumbling, I got to give the Chiefs a touchdown of Pacheco fumbling. So it should have been at least 17-7, but the 49ers was not capitalizing on opportunities and shooting themselves in the foot. Now, the next time they got the ball, that's when they started making some plays. Deebo Samuel started to get loose. He started to get a little loose. He never got free, but he got loose. In which that's starting to stretch out the Chiefs' defense. And now when you start stretching out the Chiefs' defense, they can't put that 8 men in the box no more. You can't go with the 5 down front. That's allowing Christian McCaffrey to have space to run and do things that he's supposed to be doing. And now what did that allow? That's what allowed the trick play of the wide receiver Jennings throwing the touchdown pass to McCaffrey. It allowed it because, man, when you see that this run play is about to take place and they've already run several reverse sweeps with Deebo Samuel, your first reaction as you're not stopping the run is for everybody to get there. Chase the ball, see ball, get ball. You're not trying to read the play call no more. You're not focused on reads. You are focused solely on trying to get to this ball and get this guy down. And instead, what did they do? Jennings turns, let that thing fly. He waited to the last second. McDuffie almost got him. He lets that thing fly, get it over to Christian McCaffrey. Nick Bolton misses the tackle. It was a tough tackle. I ain't saying he missed the tackle as if like he blew the play. No, he just missed. He missed the tackle, and Christian McCaffrey got to go to the crib. And, man, that play right there is a great play call by Kyle Shanahan. It was right on time. It was right on rhythm. And they put the 49ers up 10-0 in the game. But now, bro, we only got about 4 minutes left in the first half. If the Chiefs do not score points on this drive, the Chiefs will probably lose this football game. That's where the game will start getting out of hand because, see, if the Chiefs don't score points on that drive, now you're down 2 possessions. 2 possessions. It's hard to make up 2 possessions. And to top that off, if they do not score on this drive, they start the drive with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left. You're going to try to score, so you're going to be passing the ball a lot to try to get down there to score some points, any points, a touchdown, field goal, whatever. You're throwing the ball a lot, which means that every incompletion, the clock is going to stop, which means that the likelihood of the 49ers getting the ball back is high. And if they get the ball back with the momentum that they have rolling their way, they were going to score some points. Even if it was 3, you couldn't afford to go down another 3 points. So what takes place? Patrick Mahomes knew what time it was. He knew what time it was, and he started making Patrick Mahomes plays. He stopped depending on the tackles to hold up. He started rolling out the pocket. Now, Nick Bosa did a fantastic job of keeping Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. Now, a lot of you guys are wondering, like, oh, how come the Chiefs never got called for holding in that game? Well, bro, it's also the style of rushing that the DNs are doing. The 49er DNs were not told in this game to pin their ears back and just go. No, they're being taught to, you pin your ears back, get your first step, find Pat. If you don't beat that man with that first step, you do not let Pat outside of you. So at this point, Nick Bosa is just like this. He's not really trying to get to Pat. He's just standing here like this, just trying to make sure Pat does not get outside of him. That's all. That's it, and that's all. So with that being the case, you're no longer like super attacking, which is helping the tackles. Now, for Pat, he's rolling now to the left side, getting away from Nick Bosa, letting that thing fly. Converts a big 3rd and 9 to Justin Watson, and unfortunately he went to Justin Watson again, and the boy dropped the ball. Those wide receiver drops came back to haunt the Kansas City Chiefs. But what did Patrick Mahomes do? He came back, started getting Rashee Rice involved. Rashee Rice actually was playing a lot of a Deebo Samuel style football game this game. A lot of short, quick slant routes, a lot of running out the backfield, a lot of crossers, a lot of sitting in the middle of the zones. He was playing fantastic, and especially on that drive. That was a money drive that the Chiefs needed, and a big-time player, well, a becoming big-time player, was making big-time plays with his quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Now, the 49ers did a fantastic job of stalling that drive to hold up to not give up a touchdown. Bro, it looked like they was going to send a blitz, and then they all dropped back. And they only rushed 4. But now, because they all dropped back, the offensive line was playing on different guys blocking different people. So now you're trying to adjust. So now you gave Nick Bosa an extra second one-on-one. You gave Chase Young an extra second one-on-one. You gave Hargrave an extra second one-on-one. And boy, did they collapse that pocket fast. I mean fast. Them boys collapsed that pocket. But when Patrick Mahomes slid up to try to do some Patrick Mahomes things, Fred Warner was standing there waiting on him. He did a great job spying Patrick Mahomes, and that's what caused the sack to take place, the gang sack to take place. And that's where the Chiefs ended up having to settle for a field goal. And, man, we went into halftime with the score being 10-6. And then after halftime, you're expecting the Chiefs now, because the Chiefs had gained a lot of rhythm on that drive. You're expecting the Chiefs now to have a understanding of what the 49ers are trying to do. And man, they come out in that second half, first play of the second half, with a fumble on the pitch to Pacheco. Now Pacheco recovered it, but he just killed the drive immediately. And then Patrick, he threw an interception. He threw about overthrowing Travis Kelce. It was a great read. He just missed it. He just missed it. And it sucks because, like, you don't picture him like that. But yeah, he missed it. But now what this causes is that now the play calling, the rhythm of the play calling is completely off. It's completely off. But once again, the Chiefs defense has been one of the best defenses this year, saved the Kansas City Chiefs offense once again. They allowed no points off of the Patrick Mahomes turnover. Mind you guys, that means there's 2 turnovers in this game that the Chiefs defense did not allow any points. This Chiefs defense was fantastic in this football game. And now, when you move on now to, let's skip the Chiefs' next drive. It just was a 3-and-out. There's nothing to get into. The 49ers play great defense once again. And now we get to where Chris Jones starts really causing plays on this San Francisco offense. Causing mistakes on the San Francisco offense. Chris Jones found his matchup. He found it, and it was over the right guard, number 65, I believe, of the San Francisco 49ers. Every time they needed a play, he went right there. And part of the reason why he was able to go right there is because 65 was either going to, Chris Jones was either going to get double teamed on a pass, which means that now that allows Kolaskis to be one-on-one. So that works out for the Chiefs against their right tackle, and their right tackle has not performed very well. And then, or the right guard is always pulling. He's always pulling because he has to get leverage. He is not just a bulldozing right guard. So he has to get that leverage on the pull. So when he is pulling, Chris Jones is dissecting plays like that. And a big-time player made a big-time play in Chris Jones. And because it was a first down on the line. It was a first down. And Chris Jones, he read the play. He knew what was taking place. He knew it was a play action. And he watched Brock Purdy, and he went straight at him. Caused Brock Purdy to throw a short pass to Jennings, I believe. And Jennings got tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and which caused that drive to stall. This is what happens in these big games, you guys. When you got 2 elite teams and, more importantly, elite defenses going against each other, you can't have a negative play. You have a negative play, your drive is stalled off rip. Off rip is stalled. And that's what took place there. And that's when now Patrick Mahomes got to see what the defense was really trying to do and found some answers. And the way that he found, the biggest answer he found was he started using his legs. See, Brock Purdy didn't get that ability because the Chiefs started off QB spying Brock Purdy from the jump. From the jump is because, which I'm not blaming Brock for this, is because Brock showed his ability to run against the Green Bay Packers. So the Chiefs knew, like, hey, bro, we got to slow this up. He is not afraid to run. He's not going to be afraid this week again in the Super Bowl. So we put Nick Bolton there, Willie Gay. There was always somebody on him. And we put Eric Reed on George Kittle. That's what slowed up George Kittle. He was being matched up with DBs, not linebackers. And as great as George Kittle is, he's not a route runner, and he's not a receiving tight end to that degree to be able to burn safeties and corners. He could bully them, and he could read a zone defense. But as far as burning them, that's not his strong suit. He could do it. He's going to burn you here and there, but it's not his strong suit. Pat held that card in his deck. And when it came time for him to start using it, he did. And when he started using his legs, that's what terrified the San Francisco 49ers. They started going a lot more zone when he started using his legs. And on this drive, he ends up getting a field goal on this drive, which makes the score 10-6. Now, moving on now, the run game of the 49ers now is pretty much dang near non-existent. It's non-existent at this point. They are not effectively running the football and not even trying, which is huge for the 49ers. So now what this means is that The Chiefs are waiting for that one door to kick open. If they could kick that last door open, they are going to gain momentum in this game. Because now you got the 49ers completely off of their offense. That's not what they do. They don't pass like that. They don't pass as the base, as the premise, as their offense. Their base and premise is the run game through Christian McCaffrey. And once you took that out, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. And that's what took place, because now you had the punt going to Kansas City. Kansas City did not do great on that drive, but now the door got kicked in. And it got kicked in, and this is when the game starts getting interesting, guys. When McLeod fumbled the punt. For those of you that did not rewatch that game or rewatch that play intently, McLeod did not make a mistake in the sense of touching the football. That ball hit his player's foot. He had to get it. He had to go get it. Now also, when he went to go get it, that now alerts the Chiefs players to go get that ball. Either way, he had to pick it up. Just so you guys know, he had to try to pick it up. The issue that he didn't make, he did not communicate with his blocker that the ball was that close or that he's that close. Because he should be sitting there just yelling, whatever their word is that they yell. Let's just say the word is ball. He should be pointing at him saying, ball, 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 ball. And let's let him know it's coming. Get the hell out the way. That was a miscommunication. In the very next play, the 49ers went zone, and MVS was wide open because they all traveled to Travis Kelce on the wheel route. That was a touchdown against Kyle Hamilton last week. That's why they flowed that way. But MVS was wide open, touchdown Kansas City, and now Kansas City was up 10-13. They had no business being in this game to that degree, let alone taking the lead, and now they got it. And then the San Francisco 49ers, man, they had a couple missed opportunities on this drive. But the thing was, though, the offense did get on schedule. They got to running the football again. They got to throwing play-action passes. They got to attacking zones. Brock Purdy got to making smart passes. Very smart, calculated passes, letting the play call be the star instead of him trying to be the star, if that makes sense to you guys. So with that being the case, he did miss Debo on a touchdown pass, I believe. He should have had that. He should have had that touchdown pass to Debo. If he lays that ball a little bit more outside, don't allow Trent McDuffie to make a play on it, only Debo may have 6 right there. But Trent McDuffie is an all-pro. He's an all-pro and an elite corner in this league. And Trent McDuffie made a hell of a play. I honestly borderline think Trent McDuffie should have been the MVP of the Super Bowl. Him and Chris Jones handled their business defensively. But moving on. George Kittle had a great 4th down conversion. That was fantastic, man. This is a guy that understands leverage in situations, and he finally got that mismatch on him and got to run that short crossing route. And he made sure he knew where that marker was. And bro, that was a hell of an athletic play, and that's a big time player making a big time play in George Kittle. He was not trying to lose this game whatsoever. And once he got that, it allowed Jennings to get that short slant, break a tackle off a Snead, and get into the end zone. This is the issue of man coverage. This right here. When you are overly aggressive and you miss, that's what happens. Snead missed the press. That now gives a step to Jennings. Jennings got the ball, and now Snead is trying to make a play. And Jennings made the play. So that's where the sticky defense of the Chiefs became kind of a gambling defense in that moment. But great play by Jennings. Fantastic play. Jennings on his way to try to become the Super Bowl MVP of this game. But then the PAT gets blocked. That was a huge play. It's a huge play because now it puts the Chiefs only down 3. They don't have to score a touchdown. They only need a field goal. Pat, at this point, he's found something. He's found something that he's going to try to attack. He's going to try to attack it. He don't know if it's going to work yet, but he found something that he wants to try to attack, and that's the last thing you need to do is give him the ball where he got the option of a field goal or a touchdown. And That's exactly what happened because the score is now 16-13, and now the Chiefs get the ball, and the Chiefs see they figured it out. They figured it out, and the 49ers are now lost. They pulled all the bags out, all the tricks out the bag already. So now Patrick Mahomes seeing everything. He's seen how you're rotating your defense. He sees how you're rotating your zone. He sees how you're transforming from making the disguise as a man to a zone. He now knows what you're doing. And when he knows what you're doing, you're in a dangerous place. And what another thing that the Chiefs did to truly help this offense, help these tackles specifically, they started chipping. They started chipping a lot more. You see a lot more Travis Kelce giving a bump to Nick Bosa, or Pacheco giving a bump to Chase Young before they're running out for the routes. And they're just running short routes, outlet routes, just in case Pat's in trouble. But that's what they started doing, and that allowed that extra bit of time for Patrick to really diagnose what the defense was doing and attack it. And in that specific drive, there was a lot of zones taking place. And what Patrick Mahomes did, he decided to attack the deep part of the zone. And he started hitting those spots between the cover 2 corner and the cover 2 safety, and things that the cover 3 corner and the cover 3, the deep third safety. He started attacking those spots right in the middle. Big chunk plays, big chunk play, big chunk play, to the point that now the San Francisco 49ers has to start going man. Had to. But they had a great stop in the red zone, the 49ers did. They stood strong and they stood up. And now the score is now 16-16 after another Butker field goal. Moving on now to the final drive of the 49ers. They should have closed. They should have closed. They did not close the game. This is where, okay, the issues that some people have with Brock Purdy come into play. It is. Trent McDuffie did a fantastic job on that 3rd and 4, I believe, with about 3 minutes left, 3:04 left, I believe. He did a fantastic job of disguising his blitz. He disguised it fantastically, and he messed it up for Brock Purdy. He had a clear lane at Brock Purdy. He took it. He attacked. He went hard. And when he got there, he jumped. These are the differences between the draft combine heroes and the Brock Purdys. Brock Purdy is not 6'5". He's not 6'4". He's not 6'3". He's not necessarily fast. He's not uberly athletic. He's not any of those things. So he couldn't make a play there. He just could not make a play. Now, it's a tough play to make. I'm not saying that it would have been easy to make. But when you got a Cam Newton, he could break. He could throw McDuffie off of him. When you got a Patrick Mahomes, who's such a threat with his arm, he could pump fake that pass. McDuffie would have had to jump, and Pat could now run and make a second effort play. When you got a guy like Trevor Lawrence, he's 6'5". Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, these guys could stand above the crowd, and no matter how high you jump, they could still see their target. That's the issues with Brock Purdy physically. And that could be what always keeps him from being necessarily elite. But the pass was missed. Great play by Trent McDuffie. And now the score is 19-16. Moving on now, Patrick Mahomes now gets the last drive of the game. He gets the ball pretty much with 2 minutes left. And I ain't going to lie to you guys. I thought the game was over. I thought the Chiefs were scoring a touchdown. I thought it was going to be that plain, that cut, and that dry. But, man, Patrick Mahomes, he did it. He was picking that defense apart. Every time they went in zone, he was hitting underneath. He was hitting that deep piece of the zone that I was talking about earlier. Or he was attacking versus man with his run, with the running game. He was either going to run or throw the underneath pass to Isaiah Pacheco, who was unaccounted for. Or I want to say one time it was to Mecole Hardman or Rashee Rice. And, they're unaccounted for. And then the next thing you know, you got that crossing route against Fred Warner on the dime. Fred Warner he's hella athletic. We pretty much know for a fact almost there's nobody in the league that's going to run that crossing route and stick with Travis Kelce. We saw Derwin James try to do that, I believe, last year. I think he tried to do that, and that did not work. So this is not going to work with Fred Warner. And that's exactly what happened. Now, I also will tell you guys, I haven't seen Travis Kelce run that fast all year. He hasn't ran that fast all season. But all of a sudden, man, he found that juice and he got up. He got up. He tried to get there. The wheel route, man, Patrick Mahomes tried to make the hero play to his boy Travis Kelce. He should have went to Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice was in the middle. But also, I will tell you guys, that was not necessarily a bad decision by Pat. He knew how much time was left on the clock. And he didn't want to use an astronomical amount of that clock that was left. If he's going through all of his reads, all his position, all of his progressions, there's a chance that like things don't work out right. He went to the guy that he trusts and gave him, hey, this is our one shot to score this touchdown. It didn't happen. So the Chiefs ended up kicking a field goal, which now sent the game into overtime, 19-19. Okay, now we're getting to the interesting stuff. The 49ers elect to receive. Was that smart by the 49ers? I think that they should have took the football. But I'm more of a gambler like that. I'm a person that likes going for it on fourth down. I'm a person that likes going for two. I'm a person that likes that kind of thing. So, like, I would have said you go for the touchdown, try to end the game. But I do understand the conservative approach that Kyle Shanahan was taking. And what he was doing was he was taking he said that he wanted the third possession. This is what that means. He thought his team would score points, his offense. And he believed in his defense to allow that maximum of point to the Kansas City Chiefs. Meaning that if we get 3 points as offense, the Chiefs will only get 3 points as offense. If we score a touchdown and get 7, the Chiefs will only get 7. And we're going to get the ball back in sudden death and we're going to end the game. That's how Shanahan was thinking. I get it. I do get it. I do understand it. But that's Pat. And that's the issue with this. You're going against Pat. Last thing you need to do is give him another opportunity. So now let's go ahead and get into the overtime. The Chiefs dominate the 49ers on that first possession. Dominate them. It wasn't even close, man. It was 3 and out. The Chiefs are off the field. But, man, Trent McDuffie got called for a hold. And that's what kept that drive alive. And after that hold, you could tell the Chiefs' defense was gassed. They was gassed, and that brought life to the 49ers offense. And when that brought that life to them, man, they caught a rhythm after that penalty, and they was running the football, passing short, making plays. Brock Purdy, he now got a second win, got a second to like settle down. And when he did that, man, he did fantastic. Man, Kyle Juszczyk, he caught that ball, man. That's just what I think. He caught it. I wanted to make sure that we talk about that real quick. I think it was a fair catch. Like, he caught the ball. I hate that rule anyway. The boy caught that ball, man. Hell of a first down effort by him. But what made this drive collapse was the fact that right side of the offensive line that I told you guys was the weakness going into this game the entire week for the San Francisco 49ers had the biggest miscue of the game. They let Chris Jones run through free. Let him run through free. He literally didn't have to spin on nobody, didn't have to push anybody, didn't have to do anything. He just had to run straight. And that caused Brock Purdy to be forced to just let a ball go airborne. And it went right over Jennings' head. That was a touchdown by Jennings. That would have been another touchdown by Jennings. But instead, that's what takes place. And the final score is 22. I mean, at that point now, the score is 22-19 after Moody makes a field goal. And at that point in the game, Patrick Mahomes, he wasn't losing. He wasn't losing, man. We saw a great player be great, man. Patrick Mahomes, he converts to 4th and 1. That was supposed to be an RPO. He was supposed to pass the football. But he said, I'm the best player on the field. I'm winning this game. If we're going to lose, we're going to lose with me. And it's that plain and that cut and that dry. Man, it was a great play call by Andy Reid. And it was a great thing to see a guy that just wants to be great. He wants to be great, but not in the sense of being selfish, wanting all the fame, wanting all the attention. He wants to be great for his teammates. And he said, right now, me trying to swing this ball to Travis Kelce to get this first down when guys are right there, or me just taking this to run it to get this for sure first down, it makes more sense. It's better for the team. And then the next third down, once it was 3rd and 9, after MVS did some goofy boy stuff, ran a great hitch route, and then some whatever. Go down next time. Those of you that watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. Go down. Once it was 39, and the 49ers sent everybody. They sent Fred, they sent Nick, they sent Chase, they sent Hargrave, they sent your mom, they sent your dad, they sent your kids, they sent everybody. Everybody went after Patrick Mahomes on that blitz. And the experience of Pat, the know-all of Pat, the awareness of Pat, to see that coming. He takes a deep drop. That was not supposed to be a drop that deep. He took a deep drop the same way he did 4 years ago in Super Bowl 54? Yes, 54 against the San Francisco 49ers when he threw that ball to Tyreek Hill. He took that deep drop to allow Rashee Rice to have a few more seconds to get space on that crossing route. Hit him. In that whole drive, they did not know what to do. And now Mahomes is in control of this game. And he just continued to attack underneath. And then it got to 3rd and 1. And then they finally tried to run man, talking about the San Francisco 49ers. As soon as that linebacker turned his back, Patrick was gone. He was gone. Hell of a run by Patrick Mahomes to get the Chiefs another first down, to get them deep down to the field, to get them in the red zone. Their offense is on rhythm. Next thing you know, we got a touchdown pass to Mecole Hardman with 3 seconds left in the game. Game, check, match by Patrick Mahomes. Just an FYI to you guys, that was the same route that the Chiefs scored 2 touchdowns on in the Super Bowl against the Eagles last year. Same route. The touchdowns that Tony scored and Sky Moore scored last year's Super Bowl, that's the same route that Mecole Hardman scored on. And the Chiefs won the game, man. That's how the Chiefs won the game. They won the game by just focusing on doing what they had to do and not quitting, having the heart of a champion. That's how the Chiefs won that football game. The 49ers, they did not capitalize on the opportunities when they had them. They did not, in lack of experience sometimes. And sometimes it's just that cut and dry. As far as for people's, how do we see them now after this game? Legacy talk, I guess you could say. For this guy, it's not legacy. His career just started in Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy proved himself, man. He proved himself. To me, he's probably for sure a top 10 quarterback to me right now. Probably for sure top 10. I haven't done a list yet. We would do one during this offseason at some point. But right now, just roughly, I do think he's top 10. He's probably at least top 12. He's proven that he's a solid quarterback, and I'm okay with him being the quarterback of that team. There's a few other teams I'll be okay with him being on. Teams like the Detroit Lions I think will be cool too. Teams like that. I'm not comfortable with him being on a pass-led team like Kansas City, like Buffalo. Like, he ain't doing none of that now. But could he be Kirk Cousins level and maybe a little plus above Kirk Cousins? Yeah, and Kirk Cousins is a really good quarterback in this league. He's a really good quarterback. So, I mean, I do think that's possible. For him. But for him, I do think he took a good step. Yeah, you missed a couple throws. But, man, it's your first time here. But, man, you had a great season overall. Just keep growing. Keep working on your game and keep doing what you have to do. I think the 49ers only got one more year with this roster intact as it is. Because once you guys start paying Brock Purdy, it's going to change a lot of things. Brock Purdy right now is at least a $40 million quarterback. You got one more year of him making no money from NFL standards. And then after that, you got to start paying them. For Kyle Shanahan, I hate to say it like this, bro, but you're proven right now to be a choke artist. And it sucks because you are a really good head coach. And I don't want to put that on you in that way. It sounds too harsh, and I don't like how it sounds. But, man, you blew a 22-point lead against Tom Brady. You blew a 10-point lead against Patrick Mahomes. And now you're blowing a second 10-point lead against Patrick Mahomes. You're having a hard time closing, brother. And you got to jump that hurdle. One day, I'm hoping that you do. But you got to jump our hurdle. On right now, man, we got to look at you in the same light that we look at a lot of these other coaches. Sincerely, that pressure needs to be put on the 49ers. The same way that's put on the Cowboys. The same way that it's put on Bill Belichick after Tom Brady left. The same way it was put on Andy Reid when Andy Reid was with the Philadelphia Eagles. The same way that's being put on Sean McDermott. No, Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott up in Buffalo. That pressure needs to be pushed on you now, bro. It's time. It's time. Your window is closing. You gotta finish this off. You got to. On a positive end, man, Andy Reid. Boom. Second best coach of all time, in my personal opinion. I've loved him since he was with the Philadelphia Eagles. I will never forget when the Chiefs hired him. I thought, man, it was an excellent hire, which has been proven to be. Congratulations to you, Andy Reid. I hope that you stay around for about another 4 to 5 years. I think that you can, so I'm hoping that you do. But, man, Andy Reid, you are dope, and you closed that game in tremendous fashion. That offensive play calling to finish out that game was spectacular. Patrick Mahomes, whoo, man. Woo, the boy's trying to prove to be the GOAT already. And there's nothing more that you can ask him to do. He's doing everything he's supposed to do, man. We watched this dude just win 2 Super Bowls without Tyreek Hill. This dude, Tyreek Hill, may be the best wide receiver in football. And he's won 2 Super Bowls after he left. Guess when he left? 2 years ago. 2 years ago he left. And he got 2 Super Bowls. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. I'm not blaming Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is a hell of a football player. I think we would have won the Super Bowl if Tyreek Hill was still in Kansas City. Would have came a lot easier, in my opinion. But it's just that it's more of a inflation on Patrick Mahomes than deducting Tyreek Hill. We're not deducting Tyreek at all. It's just telling you how great this dude Patrick Mahomes is. In a year without Tyreek Hill, a second year without Tyreek Hill, and a year with rookie wide receiver and Rice being probably your best wide receiver target this season overall. In a year where Travis Kelce had a down season. In a year where Kadarius Toney disappears from the team. In a year where MVS is dropping passes, Watson's dropping passes, Sky Moore gets hurt, and he's dropping passes. Like, nothing was right offensively. And you led a Super Bowl run. That's fantastic, man. He's definitely the GOAT right now, the best of all time. He's chasing the GOAT. I'm not going to call him the GOAT yet, man. 7's a lot. 7's a lot. That's aggressive. That's aggressive. He got to get in that range. But, man, Patrick Mahomes is balling out, man. And let's just enjoy greatness. Everybody, man, I'm just at a place in my life where I just appreciate great players. I truly do. I just appreciate watching great players do great things. Like, for example, you guys know I'm not necessarily the biggest Josh Allen guy, but the thing is, that's wrong. I'm a big Josh Allen guy. I love watching Josh Allen play football. I hate the fans of Josh Allen. That's what I hate. I hate the overabundance of credit he gets. That's what I hate. And the passes that he gets. You just watch him like, oh, he threw an interception because of this. No, bro, it was a bad read. That's why he threw an interception. Just say it like it is. But I'm just in a range where I just appreciate greatness, and this is a great player that we watch, man. We might be watching the greatest quarterback of all time. Let's just enjoy that. For the Kansas City Chiefs, man, this is a dynasty. It is officially a dynasty now, man. 3 Super Bowls in 5 years, 4 Super Bowl appearances in 5 years. I mean, bro, that's a tremendous run. It should have been another Super Bowl appearance because of Dee Ford jumping off sides against the New England Patriots and Patrick Mahomes' MVP season. So it should be 5 Super Bowl appearances, but in 6 years. But man, it's a dynasty. For the people that's talking about like the game is rigged and stuff like that, I really don't get into that kind of stuff. But I want to touch on a couple things. First of all, I don't get into it because I just don't care. I don't care. If it is rigged, guess what? I'm still watching it. So what's the point of talking about it? But secondly, like a lot of you are going to, I've seen a lot of people talk about like, oh, they cheated for the Chiefs on that whole first down. And then it should have been 2nd and 8. And they said 1st and 10 on TV. No player has complained about it. It probably was a TV malfunction. Sincerely. I'm not being naive. All you that play football know that you don't see that TV. Guess what, y'all? They don't see the yellow lines on the field. There's no yellow lines down there. There's no blue lines. There's no digital thing saying 1st and 10. None of that. They see this panel on the sideline. And that panel probably still says 2nd down. If it didn't, Kyle Shanahan or somebody in that game would have been losing their natural born mind that was changed back to 1st down. That's 1. 2, even if it wasn't, don't matter. It should have been 2nd and 8. It should have said 2nd and 8 on TV. Yes, it should have said that. The very next play was a 12-yard reception by Noah Gray. Guess what? It's still a 1st down. The ball's still at the same point. It doesn't change anything. It's a ridiculous thing to try to bring up as far as like, oh, see, they cheated for the Chiefs to win. They did nothing for the Chiefs there. It did nothing for the Chiefs. And then also, seeing a lot of people talk about the holding penalties and stuff. Do you guys realize there were only 2 penalties from the 4th quarter to overtime? That's it. From both sides. Now, yes, I know what you'll say. Both of them went against the 49ers. Yes, they did, but they also converted both of those. It didn't change the game. It didn't change the game whatsoever. Both of those 1st downs got converted. When the 49ers did not convert the 1st down in overtime, it was because they just didn't convert the 1st down. It's because they had a miscue blocking assignment. That's why. They didn't get pushed back. Nothing along those lines happened. That's what happened in that game. Now, also, once again, to you guys saying the refs are on the Chiefs' side. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. The 49ers had 6 penalties for the game. For the entire game. Guess how many the Chiefs had? 6. They both had 6. The 49ers had 40 penalty yards against them. The Chiefs had 55. But the rest were for the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs was affected more by the refs than the 49ers. Go ahead and keep believing that. Keep believing that. Hey, we're witnessing a dynasty. Everybody enjoy it. Real quick, man, I want to talk about the good part of the parade. Man, I went, man. I was chilling with my wife, and I just told her, like, man, I wish I could go to parade someday. And she was like, bet, let's do it. So, man, we went, man. And I'll tell you guys, it's one of the most awesome things and one of the best events that I ever went to in my life. It really was. It was such a good time, man. It was such a good time. You're just there with a lot of people that just love the team just like you do and love this game. And everybody knows everybody on the team. And it's, for me, like I get a joy out of seeing like the Nick Bolton jersey and the Isaiah Pacheco jersey and the Chris Jones jersey and the George Karlaftis jersey. Notice what I'm saying. I'm not just talking about number 15, number 87 that everybody knows, the Rashee Rice jersey. Bro, that's freaking awesome. It's dope. Like, that's the kind of fan base they are. And that's how it feels when you're in that city, when you're in that aura of that team. It was amazing, man. It was amazing. Everybody was on good vibes. It was a fun time. Even though there's a million people there, it don't feel like there's a million people. Man, we had a great time. It was awesome. There was just live music playing the entire time. The DJ, man, he had your chest rumbling. That's how hard his speakers was bumping. He did all right. Yeah, he could did better in a couple situations, but hey, they asked that man to be out there from 9 a.m. until about 2 p.m. That's a long stretch of you trying to be a DJ. I get that. I feel you. I ain't going to hold that to you too much. Man, so during the thing, Tech N9ne showed up. Those of you that don't know, Tech N9ne is a rapper, and he's from Kansas City. He showed up, man, and he was a treat. He ended up performing about 3-4 songs. The guys that sing Swag Surfing came out. Sorry for you guys, man. I always forget y'all's names. I just know what song y'all did. Hey, it's a banger. It's a banger. Still get the crowd jumping. But, man, yeah, man, we did swag surfing dance, all that kind of stuff, man. It was such a fun time. The Chiefs pulled out, obviously the team came to the stage. The Chiefs pulled out all 4 Lombardis in franchise history, talked about the history of all of them. The players gave their speeches. Chris Jones said that he's coming back. Travis Kelce was up there drunker than drunk when my boy was faded. He was gone. He was somewhere else. He wasn't even in Kansas City no more. That boy, he was somewhere else. He was out there in LA at that point. He was that faded. But man, bro, it was a great time. And I have no regrets on going. And if they ever win again, I will go again. And if ATL ever wins, well, I'm going to ATL, man. Hey, we have artists here in Missouri. Bro, think about the people that's from ATL. Luda, Usher, T.I., Jeezy, all those boys, the Migos, all them boys, bro. Hey, they gonna have that place jumping. I'm going to ATL whenever that day comes that they win a Super Bowl. But hey, man, it was awesome. It was dope. I'm gonna put a video at the end of this representing the parade and also representing Chief Kingdom. For those of you that are wondering, though, at the conclusion of this episode, man, that ends our football season. That ends year one of our NFL football season, man. It's been a fun journey. And one of the best years for me in a long time, especially watching the NFL. We're going to be tapping into the NBA next, finally. Finally, man. I thought I was going to be able to do both as the season was going. But, man, being a husband and a father, I didn't have time to do both at the same time. And plus, I didn't want to give out misguided information. I didn't want to tell you guys things and give you guys opinions, and I'm not actually watching these games because I'm so focused on the NFL. So, man, probably in about a week or two, I'm going to start focusing on the NBA. Just like what we did with college football, I'm going to touch in on college basketball here and there. Not a whole lot, but here and there. And obviously, when March Madness comes, I will show you what my bracket looks like and things of that nature. But the NBA season, I'm excited to get into. It's after All-Star break. The game's about to start actually getting serious. So, man, I'm excited to get into them. We're going to talk about that All-Star weekend. But, hey, man, all you guys, man, take care of yourself sincerely. And when I talk about, man, taking care of your mental, I mean that. Unfortunately, because some people aren't taking care of their mental, there was an unfortunate situation that took place. And I want all of us to be here for a long time and have a fun time. So, man, let's all take that seriously. Remember to keep this mother and her family in prayer that passed away. Keep all those wounded in prayer as well. Pray for their health. And also, man, let's pray for our safety. This world is crazy, and it's getting crazier every day. And now, man, we're at a juncture in our lives where we are having to choose to shelter ourselves or enjoy our lives while we're here. My advice is, man, enjoy your life cautiously. Make sure that you're scouting out your environments before you go. And make sure that you put yourself in positions that you get to safety if you need to get to safety quick. Meaning, like, man, hey, if you're going to go to a party with a lot of drunk people, understand what could take place there. And you weigh your options. If you trust them like that, of course you go. Have a great time. But if you don't know maybe everybody there, maybe you should second think that thing. Or so on and so forth. You go to an event, maybe it's not worth being up front. That's where those people were. Maybe it's worth being somewhere where you have a quick exit point. Take care of yourselves. Consider everything. Watch over yourselves and watch over your families. But with that being said, Super Bowl 58 champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Holla at your boy. Peace.